So part two, anyway, that thing. So today, I have found, she was talking about, I do need to jump on the mini trampoline to get that, lymph, flowing, especially the lower body that is blocked, to get the lymph nodes flowing, and I do have to, I can no longer really take multivitamins or anything like that until we deal with the insulin resistance, because everything that I take, including water, I flush it right out. So that needs to be taken care of, so the body actually distributes everything that I put in my mouth, and I take it through the mouth, whether it's food or whether it's supplements, or whether it's water, where it actually distributes. That does not mean I'm not going to drink water, but I'm not going to use extra, money to waste, on supplements, until this is taken care of. So, I do have to go back, and I do have to, for like once a week for 4 weeks, and I will get these, it's called neurotherapy injection, so they're gonna inject in between each vertebrae to reboot my nervous system, bottom line, because it needs to relearn to calm down. It's done. I think it's been for years, ever since I know myself. I remember being able to really, really go and calm down. I'm constantly on the edge, and I'm constantly, in a, I need to protect myself sort of a way of thinking, because of some things that happened in the past. And it's not just some things that happened in the past, because I really believe that things happen to all of us in the past, in the present, and it will happen in the future. So it's not like, oh my gosh, or anything like that. It's more when I was a child, and since ever, I remember when we learn to be secure, and we learn the fact that we are loved by our parents, and we can, be secure about that stuff. I didn't have that. And because I didn't have that, I never learned to actually, I never felt safe and secure my entire life. I've been crying all day long today. I'm gonna try not to cry right now. I don't know why, I just keep crying and crying and crying today, which is good because it's coming out. And that is good because it's very hard for me to cry. And that's another result of this just pent up constantly, emotion, because I have to be in control and get it together and keep it together. I also hid for years when I was a child inside of myself when I saw abuse and when I experienced abuse. And so you go inside, and then I went inside so much, I never learned to just get out. So I'm stuck inside somewhere. That does not mean that I can't, function or anything like that. It's amazing how functional we can act, and how functional we can look, and how messed up we can really be inside. And I think there's two sides to this whole thing, the way I see it. I'm like, one, I'm so happy that they're starting to see things that are, wrong with me, that it took, it's been like a year and 4 months, and I've been getting slowly, results the past 4 months, 6 months, first with the Lyme, and then I switched the doctor, and she's going a little bit more in depth right here, because my immune system is totally low. I don't think it's as low as it used to be, because at least right now I can walk and talk and all that, but I used to be like flat on my face and on my back in bed for months. And so I think that my immune system is stronger and is doing better, but still is very low. So we still have to work on that. But the immune system is low because of all these other things that are not working properly in the body. So we just, now the main focus is literally to get my gut going, and that insulin resistance, which is severe, working, and then my central nervous system working, where it needs to to remember. It has a new normal, and the new normal has been there for years, and it's been constantly tied, and has to do with the past. And anyways, I feel about this in two ways. In one way is like, thank God they're starting to find out what's wrong, so he can take care of it. And another way, I'm really, really angry, really, really angry about it, because I feel like I have suffered for years, and because of somebody else's choices, and because of somebody else's anger issues, because of somebody else's insecurities, and because of somebody else's whatever issues and deals and stuff like that that were put, upon me. I didn't ask to be abused. I didn't ask to be put down. I didn't ask to be hurt like that. And I had no idea how really hurt I was until later on in life. And then now seeing it happen, kind of almost like a total collapse of the central nervous system. And I think, I had to deal with this for many years. Thank you so much, because some individuals have not realized that their actions and their words were so hurtful to somebody else. And I had to walk around when I say I mean, and everybody else that is in the same position, because I'm not the only one, and I'm not the first, I'm not the last, I'm not the worst, I'm not the best, I'm just somewhere, I don't know where in the scale, and I don't care about even measuring the scale. It's more about, I've had to deal with that day in and day out, both on a physical level. My family was affected because of this. My family's affected, all the medical debts that were piling up, for all these tests and medication, things like that. I no longer can work to be able to go and help. So of course my family is going to be affected. It's affected for the fact that I can't drive my children to a park or to a place where they can, go get groceries and things like that, because I have collapsed, bottom line. And I am gradually putting myself together right now with my family's help and with my friends' help and with God's help. And sometimes it's easy to, it's easy for me to sit here, and first of all, I have the sympathetic issue anyway, I'm constantly in this flight response anyway, so I guess it comes kind of naturally from that point of view. But at the same time, I think, I'm paying a high price for somebody else's insecurities and fears that were put upon myself, and as well as about every brother and sister in my life, in my family. They too suffered too the same ordeal and all that, and I hope and I pray to God and they don't have to go through this, and they're not gonna fall apart. And I hope they're able to cope with it better and look at me and say, okay, we need to deal with this, and not, so they don't have to go through this ever again, ever. But yeah, it's affecting. So the question is, it's really important for us to make sure of how we treat others around us, because it could affect them for years to come. Not just them, but their families, the people around that they love, and their kids and things like that, or grandkids or something like that. So this thing goes generational, and this thing, it's like a water wave. You start it and it just kind of goes like that. So I guess that's just what I had to say about today, and I'm sorry about the crying part, and I hope you have a good day, and that's about it. Bye bye.